question I get often about um, writing with the science fiction um, is how in the world do you come up with the aliens and their ships, their designs, their worlds. Um, my cover artist JD is probably laughing his butt off right now if he's watching this, but technically, I am not a technical person by any stretch of the imagination. And so when I was on draft, I think number 4 of Jules, I had at that point gotten back in touch with my college friend JD Hollyfield, who did, by the way, beautiful, beautiful cover art on the book. And he, when I sent him the files so he could read it and kind of glean through it, what he needed to work on the cover, he gave me a barrage of questions. I mean, lots and lots of questions about, well, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? And then the ship will always look like this. Is very, very technical and detailed, enough to make me freak out and him laugh. Yeah, he laughed. Lots of laughing. But so I'm not very technical, and that's why my sci-fi is a little bit different than science fiction. Most people think of really detailed technical stuff, and my story is not really about the technology, but more about the people. So I didn't want the readers to be bogged down with concepts and technical details and stuff like that. So you get some details, not a lot, for the first book. JD made me swear that would change for the second book, because he's definitely looking forward to drawing the alien ships and their specs. Go JD. But coming up with the aliens themselves wasn't too hard for me, because like I said, I love felines, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to encounter a feline race? I mean, I would be thrilled. But then again, this is my dream, my adventure. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you have these felines that, are very sentient, very advanced, very unique, and they want to be friends with Earth? How would that work? Are we going to just open our arms wide and say, come in peace? Or, would there be resistance? Would people be skeptical? Or would they be worshipped as deities? All these kind of questions went along with the world building itself. So I didn't go too in depth with that in the first book. You'll see more of this as the series progresses. But I definitely wanted a race that was advanced. I didn't want them so advanced that I couldn't do something with it. I wanted a little bit of relatability. So they're advanced. They are more advanced than the humans, but not so far advanced that they're condescending and sneering up their noses at us, looking down at us. So that definitely wasn't something that I wanted. And then, of course, using Earth is always a fun thing, because, that you don't have to do too much major world building. But I did kind of set the setting in the future. So sorry, I got a cold, but they're not like present day. So you do have futuristic sci-fi with this story. But yeah, that's kind of how I came up with it. And like I said, the world building, as the term goes, was a little bit easy for the first book. The second book, it's going to be very different. You're going to get a look inside the aliens planet. Yeah, so that's a little bit of tidbit, sneak peek for those of you that have read it, and for those who have not read it, there's you a little bit of appetizer. But yeah, so world building is very important. Characterization is very important. Plot was a little bit easy for me, because I kind of like mysteries too. I don't read a lot of them, but I do like the occasional mystery. I like the occasional thriller, and so giving it a little bit of a conspiracy type twist was fun within itself. So that Jules is a combination of so many genres. It's not even funny, but when it comes down to it, the main genres are sci-fi, paranormal with romantic elements. please don't let the romantic elements put you off. I had a reader, a guy actually, who was in his 40s, really nice fella, who read it and enjoyed it and said that the romance, because I asked him what did you think about the the romantic parts, because I'm always curious, and he said that he liked it, that it wasn't overly done, and that he appreciated that it all added to the flow of the story and didn't go above and beyond and kind of smother the actual story that was going on in the novel. So that made me feel good. So fellas, just because it has romantic elements doesn't mean you can't pick it up and read it, okay? But that's kind of like the whole story behind Jules. And I think that's about all I can think of right now for Jules. And just to say that I hope that this has helped you. And that if you are wanting a little bit of change of pace, that you can get Jules at several different locations. It's in paperback and it's also in ebook format. The best place to get the ebook formats are at smashwords.com. That they literally pretty much, I think, cater to everything as far as ebooks go. If you have a Kindle and you're more comfortable shopping in the Kindle store, you can get any of my books on the Kindle store. Okay, all of my books are available on Amazon, and you can get them at Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million, and Google Books. So there's several different locations, and probably others that I'm not even aware of, that you can find the books. So I seriously hope that you go and pick them up and enjoy it. So I guess you need to see the book, so hold tight and check it out. This is Keisha, well, I should say Lakisha, because that's how y'all know me, Lakisha Spletzer, and you have been on Keisha's Talks. Stay tuned at the end for a quick shot of the cover, and happy reading, everyone. Next time that I check in, we're going to talk about my young adult paranormal romance, which is called Real Love, Death's Conspiracy. Talk to you later.